ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पक्षेमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवा गुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृत्तश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नः सार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Yeah, Rama as an avatara is Ishvara. So how come he can go through pain, emotional conflict, etc.? More than physical pain, the emotional pain, the emotional conflict, or the dichotomy of actions. Now remember one thing, Rama himself answers it in a way. At the end of Ramayana, Agni Pariksha and everything, Brahmaji lifts up Sita from the fire unharmed and says, do you not recognize your own Lakshmi? So Rama folds his hands and says, in this lifetime, Ramoham Dasharati. The function is purely as a human being. Rama, son of Dasharatha. Therefore, the whole functioning has been as a human being. So they show all the emotions and conflict that a human being goes through in Rama also. Exact, but at the same time he knows what he is. Therefore, with the knowledge of what he is, he goes through all the human emotions. The same thing last time we saw with respect to a wise person also. Wise person also has all emotions. Yeah. All emotions a wise person also has. That you remain untouched with them is a different thing. Yeah. Untouched in the sense you are not touched by it. Your mind goes through those issues naturally. Like something happened the other day, after a long time I felt like wringing somebody's neck. And believe me, if that guy was in front of me, I would have done it. Luckily for him, he was away. I'm not joking. Yeah. That is why just because we are studying Vedanta doesn't mean one should be afraid of human emotions. You need to see the mithyatvam of it. Should be able to laugh it away if necessary. That's why Rama demonstrated all the human fallibilities, all the limitations of a human being. He was an exceptional human being because he used to be also seen as an avatara. Therefore, there was something exceptional about him. That is also there. And the fact of him being a human being was also there. Yeah. So, both together. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Or you need some? Yeah.
In a way. Sir, my question is more towards like by attaining moksha,
Yeah.
we think like we will be free of that. But now what I'm understanding is you would be free of that, but still you will go through that. I mean.
Yeah, you go through a mithya life, yeah. You go through mithya experiences. Doesn't really touch you. Yeah. Doesn't really touch you. At the same time, at the surface level, you are going through it. It is like a storm in the ocean, Surface level, there is a storm raging. 80 feet high waves, etc. But you go into the depths, it's all calm and peaceful. Same way at the surface level, all emotion, that whole play is there. Love, affection, anger, compassion, everything is there. In the depths, Anandoham. Yeah. So that is how the whole thing goes. Can you guys hear me and see me or no? Yeah, you are right. You going through you are watching an emotional movie. You are also responding to their emotions. At the same time, you are not touched by the emotion, isn't it? Just a minute, I will change over the. It's funny, there is full coverage of the net, but still the. Yeah, full coverage is there. Can you guys hear me at least? Yeah, but you, can you see me? Hello? Cannot see. Okay, okay. Hold on a minute until this connection comes through.
You can see.
Come on, the other connection should come on by now. Ah, now it is on. Yeah, Vartika, the connection is on. Join in. Okay, can you all hear and see me now? Okay. Okay, good, good. Okay. So that is where the whole thing is. You feel and you don't feel at the same time, you know? Yeah. You feel everything, you at the same time you don't feel anything.
Poetry looks good, but I'll tell you it may be around 6K, 6 to 7K.
Okay. Any other questions? Because we are toward the end of the Mundaka Upanishad now. If any other questions, shoot. We are at the fag end. Couple of verses and that's it.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
just a few classes back you had mentioned that Sarvatma Bhava is being comfortable with the fact that everything is me or something along those lines.
I said you'll be in harmony with everything.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, you know, even though you say Sarvatma Bhava, what is that? The understanding and the emotional response that I am everything. That is Sarvatma Bhava. Now, you may be everything. At the same time, someone is happy in UK and somebody is miserable in US, I am not going to feel those feelings. Next door I am not going to feel. Are you getting the idea? We try to equate it in human terms. It is in human terms, at the same time it is not. Yeah. See, you are one with the tiger. But if the tiger is coming to attack you, you are not ready to go and give it a hug. Yeah. You are not going to give it a hug, no? The tiger, come on. That's why think of, sometimes to understand this, you have to go to a little extreme examples which we may not have to face, but it is there, like Bhishma on the battlefield. Sarvatma Bhava, everything was there, but ruthless when it comes to a war. Ruthless. A battalion wiped out every day. One battalion, come on, what are you talking about? Those wars were ruthless. It was not like our times when we say 10% casualty is acceptable. What 10%? 90% of the warriors died in the battlefield. Barely 10% survived. Yeah. It was a very different picture. So, that is it, what Bhishma was, for example, or what Krishna was. A smiling assassin. And all human emotions as well. On the battlefield, you feel that rage, that energy, that whole thing coming through. Yeah, you feel that. At the same time, you are calm and centered. Yeah. I'm sure Krishna felt a lot of emotion when he was with Rukmani or Radha or whatever. Yeah. Actually, human emotions you will feel because you have taken an avatara, no? A human form. That's why if you look at Krishna's life, it becomes a little bit easier to understand. Him lifting up to the Govardhan mountain, for example. Rainy season, Indra sent the whole clouds to rain. He protects them by lifting the Govardhana mountain. He could have made the rain vanish also, no? Yes, as Ishvara, he could have made the rains vanish. But then why did they show him as lifting up the Govardhana mountain? Because he also had to highlight the fact he was an avatara, there was something special. An avatara is a special upadhi. Therefore, that also had to come through. So that effortlessness of the whole thing has to come through. Yeah. It's all a play. When it comes to avatara, it's all a play. Yeah. Joe, hi, enjoy the story. Good. Yeah. As long as you don't make it like Adi Purush, it's okay. In fact, it's funny. Now they are quoting Ramanand Sagar Ramayana as being more authentic. Probably it is better than Adi Purush. I have not seen Adi Purush, okay? So I can't speak with authority on it. I'm only going by the reports and what people who have seen have come and told me. But I never liked Ramanand Sagar's Ramayana also. With Arun Govil smirking away as Rama. He had a smirk on his face all the time. Pathetic. Yeah, I didn't like that. Or B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata. Bhishma is shown as crying all the time. Hey, why are you doing this? He was a person who either accepted them doing all the nonsense or ruthlessly chopped off heads. That's what he was. He gave them the freedom or he chopped off heads. That was Bhishma. Not Rona Dhona like how they chose. But that at least is people's interpretation of it, okay. Because there are times when he asks the people, why are you doing all these things? This Ghora Karma, this Papa Karma, why are you doing it? He has asked them that. Very difficult to make a mythology nicely, because who are the characters who can play them well? Very few. Very few. I have seen Peter Brook's Mahabharata also. The only character I liked in Peter Brook's Mahabharata was Drona. Why? He's a short guy. He was a Japanese martial artist. So he looked the part. And Draupadi as Mallika Sarabhai as Draupadi. She also fitted fairly well. The fire and the sensuousness she brought out through very well. But other than those two characters, I didn't like anybody else. So it's difficult. But I'm not going into that. I'm going into how a person responds. As an avatara will respond. A wise person's response will be similar, except that a wise person will not be able to do what an avatara can do. An avatara has come for a special purpose. Prakritim swam abhishtabhya, all that we have seen in the Gita. Keeping my own Maya Shakti under control, I manifest myself when the problems are too much for human beings to handle. Yeah. So it has to be too much. The problems we face are something simple, normal. Yeah. No big deal. Yeah, but there are problems. So solving them will involve some hard work, will involve sacrifices. The problem is we want to get things done without sacrifices. That doesn't happen. We want the neighbor's child to go and join the army, not our child. Doesn't work like that. So any other questions as far as Mundaka is concerned? Shoot, no problems. Okay, or as when we complete the verses, you can come up with that. Okay, ya Brahma Veda, Brahmaiva Bhavati, all that we saw last time, right? Okay. Nasya Brahmavid Kule Bhavati, Abrahmavid Kule Bhavati. All that is Arthavada. Okay. In fact, generally I have found, if one person in a family goes to become a sannyasi or becomes a wise person, no one else becomes in that generation, at least in that generation. They all feel, we are given up one person, the family feels, we are given up one person to become a sadhu, why should others also go into it? I have only seen in Gujarat the reverse way happening. Like I know A brother and sister both became sadhus. Yeah. Brother was my batchmate. The sister joined in 90, a Coimbatore batch. So 2 people from the same family. There is one. Other was again from Gujarat. 2 brothers becoming. Yeah. Either they have a great deal of spirituality in Gujarat, or they are thinking as it as an alternate lifestyle. ठीक है, धंधा ऐसा हो गया, धंधा ऐसा भी हो गया. You never know. Okay.
Swamiji, you say your batchmate, what are their names?
One was Nitin. Now, what is Nitin's sadhu name? 1 second, I'll tell you. Is there a no?
Swamiji Pratyek Bodhananda.
Pratyek Bodhananda. Yes, Pratyek Bodhananda. And his sister Vaibhavananda. Vaibhavananda is based in Andheri. Yeah. So, these 2. The other was Brahmatmananda and his younger brother Paramatmananda. Yeah. These 2 pairs. So, this Abrahmavid Bhavati, etc., we have to take it as Arthavada, okay? Highlighting the importance that when someone goes, it's a big thing for the family also. The punya comes to the family. Okay? The same thing is said in Viveka Chudamani by Shankara. No? When the student goes and meets the teacher and wants to be his student, the teacher says, Dhanyosi kritakrityosi pavanam te kulam chaiva. Your whole family is blessed. Yeah. Some punya wise, etc., true, but not necessarily that they all become Brahmavid. Okay. Arthavada. Okay. Then Tarati Shokam, Tarati Papmanam. That's all we have seen last time. Crosses over all sorrow, etc. Guha Grantibhyo Vimukto Amruto Bhavanti. Guha Granthi. We have seen that in the second Mundaka. Avidya Kama Karma, all that. Vimuktaha Bhavati, all that we saw. Now, certain conditions are being put. Conditions on the teacher and instructions for the student. Okay, both. Tadetad rajaha abhyuktam kriyavantaha kshotriya brahmanishtaha saham juyantaha ekarshim saddhayantaha teshameva etam brahmavidyam vadeta shirovratam vidivadaisu chirnam. Okay. Tad etad richaha abhyuktam. Here is a Rik mantra, he says. But Rik mantra in the Atharva Veda, okay? Because even though the Vedas are classified on the basis of what you call the meters, there are always exceptions here and there, okay? Some going here, some going there, and that's perfectly fine. That's part of the game. Okay, yeah. So there is a Rik mantra, and this Rik mantra is giving an indication in terms of what, to whom this should be taught. Okay, it's saying to whom you should teach this. Okay, what is that? Okay. Tam esham evetam brahmavidyam vadeta. Only to these people Brahmavidya should be taught. Who are these people? Kriyavantaha. कुछ साधना करता है कि नहीं? For taking care of the mind, are you all doing some sadhana? Kriyavantaha. Kshotriyaha. Have you studied some of the texts? Kshotriya can literally mean Have you studied your own Veda? Or have you studied something? Have you done some Swadhyaya? Studied on your own? Brahmanishta. Arey, Brahmanishta hai to why should I go and study? Brahmanishta here means commitment to Ishvara. Apara Brahman. Remember, he has revealed Paramsha, Aparamsha in Mundaka itself. So here Brahmanishta means you are committed to Ishvara. Bhakti is there. Okay? Commitment to Ishvara. Saham Jughataha Ekarsham Shraddhayantaha. Shraddhayantaha san. You have a lot of Shraddha. And you have done the homa called Ekarashi. Nobody does Ekarashi etc. nowadays, okay? Sandhya Vandanam karenge to bahut ho gaya. Ekarashi etc. nobody does, okay? Okay. Tesham evetam brahma vidyam vadeta shirovratam vidhiva yastu shirnam. And shirovratam. Shirovratam literally means carrying fire on your head. The fire pot on your head, okay? Okay, now what is he highlighting here? He says, have you done enough karma in your life to get your mind set all right? Have you done enough karma to get vairagya from karma? Yeah. Remember how it started? In the beginning they had said, Parikshalokan karmanam nirvedamayat nastya kritaha kritena tasmat vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet shotriyam brahmanishtam. In fact, that verse is a speciality in the Mundaka because so clearly the qualification of the student and teacher is mentioned. So clearly. So there he says that. And the person who goes to study is also called a Mahachamasaha. He is in a householder, lived a life of karma, etc., indicating purification of the mind. So have you done enough? Have you lived a life proactively, with purpose, with Shraddha? Have you developed Viveka, Vairagya, etc. as a process? Because you can live a life of karma and develop attachment to karma also. Instead of getting Vairagya from karma, you can get attachment to karma also. Yeah, hota hai. You know, very interesting. Many years ago, when Gurudev was alive, Swami Chinmayanji, because some people may not know who Gurudev is, okay? When Swami Chinmayanji was alive, and he had gone to Uttarkashi, someone wrote to him whether some herbs from Himalayas will be available. Because he wanted to do some sadhana using those herbs. So Swami Chinmayanji gave him wrote a stinker to him. Literally. Those days there was no mail or WhatsApp messages, okay? It was all slow mail. So Swami Chinmayanji wrote a stinker about his attachment to that, etc. So he tried to justify saying, Swamiji, it is all for Antakarna Shuddhi, etc. I am only churning the curds, the buttermilk, to get butter out of it. And you know what Swami Chinmayanji said? Yeah, you have to churn the buttermilk to get the curds, to get the butter. The butter has come up, but Nair is still churning away. This champion is still churning away until the butter will melt back, and then you can never retrieve it. So, some sadhana. Now, these are all rituals mentioned in the Veda which nobody does nowadays. But they can be replaced by Pauranic rituals. That's what is done. In fact, Vyasa was responsible for that. Even though he and his student analyzed the whole Veda, he knew that the society is changing after the Mahabharata war. People will do less and less Vedic karma. Therefore, he has to give something else as a substitute. So, a lot of Puranic karmas came up. Like doing a Satyanarayana Puja, doing a Bhagavati Seva, those type of pujas, but or doing a regular Shodashopachara puja at home, or Panchopachara puja at home, if we can't do Shodasham. Some small worship at home. Why? It helps to get the bhakti out of you. Actions associated with devotion, when it is done, helps bring out the devotion that is latent in yourself. So, some sort of worship, etc. Yeah, not to feel guilty if you miss one day, not to make a habit of missing every day. So, some amount of worship in your life to have bhakti in you. And if you remember the Gita, they have shown so many different types of sadhanas, right? Pranayama, parayana, that, etc. A lot of things also. Why? It helps you develop your awareness, awarefulness, mindfulness. It helps you develop your focus. Both are necessary. Awarefulness, focus, all that is necessary. Yeah. So, all this, and of course, Shraddha Bhakti. Now, the idea of Shraddha goes against modern education. Because modern education, you are expected to be a skeptic. You have to be a skeptic to learn, to really do higher studies in modern education. Okay? Graduation theek hai, chalta hai. Especially in India, everyone just mug up things and pass. But if you are doing your masters, if you are doing your doctorate, etc., then you have to expect it to be skeptical. Okay? And in a way, it's healthy. For modern education, that's fine. But traditionally, you need to have enough Shraddha to accept Veda as a pramana. The Upanishad as a pramana to know yourself. Then all your skepticism and questioning can come up to understand what the Upanishad says. Pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattva darshana. Gitaya. So you are expected to question, challenge, all that is fine. Okay? But after accepting it as a pramana, Swamiji, how can you prove it's a pramana? How can you prove your eyes are seeing? Only by seeing, no? Only by seeing. Using the pramana will prove whether it works or not. Similarly in Vedanta, using the pramana will show you whether it works or not. Swamiji, I use the pramana. 10 साल से सुनता है, कुछ नहीं पता लग गया. I am still, as I started off, only 10 years I have been listening. That is why Vedanta is addressed to an adhikari. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshatam, ये सब है, check up, fine tune. है थोड़ा थोड़ा इधर उधर है, थोड़ा थोड़ा lacking. So fine tune whatever is lacking. So Vedanta addresses itself to the adhikari. Though it is not elitist, anyone can come and listen to Vedanta. Anybody can listen to Vedanta, it's not elitist. At the same time, for whom it will work? Adhikari. One is about Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, Mumukshatam. Finished. So, all this, when he is talking about karma, etc., is meant to cultivate that. Meant to cultivate that. Okay. Once adhikaritvam is there, is it necessary? In Brahma Sutras he raises a very nice question. Is it a rule that you need to do all the karmas to gain adhikaritvam? Shankara says no, there is no rule. Because in some people we have seen adhikaritvam is there even without that. Maybe they did other things. Maybe they did other things, because remember, it's a thing to be done, something to be cultivated is finite. If it is finite, it can be done in 100 different ways. So maybe they did something else. Look at their life.
Swamiji, I had a question.
Shoot.
Now or later? Okay, so 2 questions. One is like, get the Brahmavidananda. So when we have joined, I'm sure none of us have done so much of Vedic pujas or anything. So those karmas nobody has done. But we are all there now for some years. So that is one thing. So these karmas, they mean only Vedic karmas or other karmas?
That's why I said Pauranic karmas are also okay. Or anything else which will help you develop your focus, your awarefulness, Shat Sampatti, anything that will help you develop this. Viveka, Vairagya. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the second question, that anything that develops, so even if it is not a Pauranic puja or a Vedic karma, if it's something like martial arts,
Yeah.
yogic training, where you come out of the comfort zone of body and mind and all in life.
Will help,
anything-
will help.
Does it help? Does it
Yeah.
be qualified as a karma to get adhikaritvam for the...
Yeah, it is enough to gain Adhikaritam. One thing you will have to add there will be understanding of Ishvara and some bhakti. That is generally missing in the secular systems.
Yeah.
That is missing. So some bhakti etc. is there. Even a system like Tai Chi, for example, once you come to third, fourth levels, no, there is Om chanting and everything in it, okay? Ishvara comes into the picture, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe this. How come?
It is there. How come kya hai? वो है ऐसा.
But it's Chinese, no?
Huh? Why?
Chinese, no? How is the Om chanting?
It went from India to Tibet to China. So that time China was not the present China. China looked upon India as a bigger brother, elder brother in spirituality. And there was always this tradition in China to go west to seek wisdom. So west doesn't mean they went to America to seek wisdom. Because if you look at the map of China, to come to India, they had to go westward along the Silk Route, then at the Hindu Kush mountains turn and come into India. Turn southwards and come into India. Because you can't go right over the mountains, all the Himalayan peaks, you can't jump over and come. So there's always this tradition of Chinese scholars coming to India and studying. The last step was always in India. The final step of moksha was always in India. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You do what is necessary to get the mind ready. And that's important. At the same time, don't get so attached to the sadhana that you can't give up the sadhana. To Sunita, I'll say something. How much does Robin insist that you all do the cultivation?
My God, every day, first question, how is the practice? It scares me, you know.
You know, when you come to our level, you drop cultivation. You do it once or twice a month only. Not once or twice a week, once or twice a month. Baki sab chhod do. But if you are attached to it, you will stick back to that because it's familiar. That's what happens to many karmatas. They'll come to Vedanta, but they will not be able to be objective with respect to the karma. They'll get stuck there. I have seen all this with the priestly community, the Brahminical community, whether it is south or north, it's very common. Very difficult. There is a priest who, in Rishikesh, we called for, to do the sannyasa rituals. Because the rituals have to be done by a priest. No? Until the final step. The final step, the priest is supposed to fold hands to you and say, I can come only this far with you. The next step is between you and your guru. Okay? He is supposed to say that. And this priest is a good man, he says all that. But one thing he will always say, hey, sannyasa is for kamya karma. Nitya naimitika karmas you must do. Sannyasa is for everything, all karmas. But he can't, even though he has given sannyasa to hundreds of people, he cannot accept that. Karma conditioning is so strong. In Swamiji's village in Manjakudi, there is a priest who took sannyasa. And what an uproar it created in the priestly community. Oh my God, he has given up all karmas and become a sannyasi. Swamiji's village, okay. Karma conditionings. Therefore, you need to have karma in your life as preparation. Nobody negates that. As preparation, you need to have. And that's why the beauty of the Gita is putting their karma yoga part into that thing. Therefore, all karmas become worship. All karmas can become worship. Ishwararpanam prasada buddhi. Even get married, Ishwararpanam prasada buddhi. That you all know, both chahiye na. Lord of acceptance, etc. is necessary. Yeah. So, that is what makes the whole thing like that. Yeah. Therefore, karma, chittasya shuddhaye karma. Moksha by jnanam. So, chitta shuddhi and moksha. Yeah. So, there is how you go about it. That's why he's saying the whole verse. Shirovratam vidhivat yastu chirnam. Shirovratam etc. are rituals happening in the Atharva Veda. Okay? And the Mundaka is from the Atharva Veda. So, naturally, he'll mention those rituals. There are hundreds of rituals in the Veda, has hundreds, thousands of rituals. Nobody can do all of them. Nobody is meant to do all of them. Okay? Yeah. So, some japa dhyanam, some little lighting the lamp, a few small things, good enough in today's world. And karma yoga buddhi with respect to everything in your life. Everything. Yeah. Whether it's a marriage or it's parenting or work at office work, whatever it is. Okay. That's why this prasada buddhi etc. is very interesting, especially in Tamil Nadu. There is a temple called Uppilyappam Kovil. In this temple, they make beautiful appams. Appam and stew. It's a very great dish, fantastic dish. Appam. But they'll never put salt in the appam. Uppa ilya. Salt is not there. Uppa means salt. Why? You are coming to the temple to take prasad. So kha lau. Today appam is without. Yaar, appam ka maja nahi aaya. You are not come to eat appam. This is not a restaurant. This is a temple. You have come to take prasada. So you take prasada as it is. Don't carry salt with you. Some champions do that. They carry salt with them. Sprinkle it and then eat it. Don't do that. You are supposed to eat it like that. Why? That's how it is. Prasada, acceptance. I am not sure where exactly it is. Maybe some of the Tamil speaking people here will know where it is. Uppilyappam Kovil. I forget. I knew it, but I forget now. Kumbakonam. I thought it would be at Kumbakonam. You know why? Because people from Kumbakonam are great rasikas when it comes to food.
Yes.
They enjoy the food.
Fantastic things are there. Yeah. Today somebody has sent this thing.
Yeah.
The description itself is mouth-watering.
Yeah, true. They're great rasikas. Yeah, rasikas and everything. Yeah, especially food.
Which is Swamiji is from Kumbakonam.
I know. That's why I know it, all Kumbakonam people are rasikas. He was a great rasika himself. I don't want to speak about all the things that he used to enjoy. Okay, yeah. Because I spent a lot of time with him now in close quarters. Thora seva kiya, so you come to know all these things. That's why the seva part is important, because you get to know a person well. No? Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Brahma Vidyam Vadeta Shirovrutam Brahma. Okay, that's as far as the karma thing is concerned. Okay. Okay, then he's striking another caution here in the next verse. Tad etat satyam rishi angira puro vacha na etad achirno avrato dhite namah parama rishibhyah namah parama rishibhyah. Tad etat satyam rishi angira puro vacha. This is the truth, he says, the reality. What about Brahman that he has talked about? Okay. Rishi Angiraha, Angirasaha. Angira is a great rishi of the Atharva Veda. Puravacha spoke in ancient times. The Upanishad is saying he spoke in ancient times, okay? Past tense. Upanishad itself is ancient or ancient times, okay? Puravacha. Nat etad achirna vrato adite. It should not be given to someone who has not fulfilled his vows, he says. What do you mean fulfilled vows? Various disciplines related to your stage in life. Karma, etc. that comes in and every stage in life. As a brahmachari, you are supposed to do a lot of Gayatri, etc., study, etc., commit yourself to the whole thing. That is your vow. As a Grahastha ashrama, a lot of vows are there, okay? To nurture each other, to nurture children, so all these vows, plus religious rituals, etc. Therefore, one who has not fulfilled the vows, meaning what? You have not lived a life of purpose. In a larger sense, it means what? You have not lived a life of purpose. You have been drifting in life. You are a drifter. You can't be like that. Without focus, without this, what are you doing? Without mindfulness, without awareness, without focus, what type of a life are you living? I want freedom. Yeah, have your freedom. Freedom has sense. Whenever says I want freedom, the question should be freedom from what? I want to live free. Oh yeah, free from what? From all the rules of society. Organized religion is a problem. I want to be free from all rules of society. Yeah, come, thora nazik aa ja. Why? I'll give you a nice tight whack. You can't do that. That's not correct. That's against the law. Abhi law kidhar se aaya? You want to live in freedom? No? You're welcome to fight back. Because then it will become like that. The law of the jungle will prevail. Yeah, which is fine for the jungle dwellers. For the lions and tigers and the deer and all, it is fine. Not for human beings. In fact, if you need to develop your self-esteem, you need to live a purposeful life. If you don't have purpose in your life, you will feel yourself useless, good for nothing. And then you are saying, and the teacher is saying, you are everything, you are Ananda, etc. Ho sakta hai. Teacher may be like that, may aisa na, may useless. It will come filtered through that feeling of uselessness. So to live purposefully, to live awarefully, to live with a certain responsibility, proactivity, etc., with certain integrity, got a certain value structure, all this become part of living. This is the vows that you are talking about. It's couched in religious terms, yes, but there is understanding behind it. Commitments. You take a vow means there is a commitment. Yeah. I given my word means there is a commitment. No? Bola na, bola. It should be as good as a legal agreement because you gave your word. Yeah. What is the use of your word if you can't keep it? What's the purpose behind it? Unless circumstances have drastically changed, etc. That's why See, all this is revealed through stories. You know, even today, if you go to some of the North Indian villages, no? UP, Himachal, Uttarakhand, if a man says something to a woman and she doesn't believe it, or she doesn't accept it, says, no, you are just saying like that, etc. You know what he will say? ये दशा का वादा है. What is this dasha ka vada? This is Dasharatha's promise, he will say. Promise made by Dasharatha. Not promise made by Rama, promise made by Dasharatha. Raghukula Neeta Hamara. If you are looking at Tulsi Ramayana, Raghukula Neeta Hamara, Prana Jaye par Vachan na Jaye. They'll say Bachan na Jaye, that's a different thing. Why? Because that's what Dasharatha did, na? I mean, look at the situation. Years ago, when both of them were very young, okay, in that battle, because Kaikeyi saved his life, he said 2 boons. Because he was a king. She said, I have you, I don't want the boons. Kya karne ka boons hai? When the king is with you, what are you talking about boons? You ask him what you want, he will give it to you. Kya boons? No, I still want to give you. Because he wanted to show his appreciation. In today's world, it will be like something like the salary goes into a joint account, but he still gets a gift for her. Arre? She can take away whatever she wants from the account, but still you get a gift by appreciation. The same way. He said, okay, when I want, I will ask. Okay, fine. And when is it asked? 30 years down the line. 30 years down the line. And when this vow was given, it was in the quiet, just only 2 of them were there, nobody else was there, no witnesses. Dasharatha said, did I really give you 2 boons like that? कुछ याद नहीं है. I don't remember anything. 30 years ago, क्या पता है क्या हो गया? You remember that battle, etc. हाँ, I remember the battle. I remember I was injured also. Maybe I was delirious, I said something. He could have said all that, no? But he knew he had given his word. Therefore, he has to keep it. That is what keeping of vows, commitment. Commitment. It's an unfair request. 30 years down the line. Unfair request. But promise is given. दशा का वादा है ये. ये तो दशा का वादा है. Integrity, commitment. Yeah. Even though situation has drastically changed from then to now. So he would have been justified in not giving it under modern laws. Because that time children were not on the scene. Now situation has changed. Other laws come into the picture. But still he kept his word. It broke his heart, but he kept his word. That's also showing the other side. The deep attachment can create problems. Anyway, all that apart. Therefore, one who has not kept his vows, one who says, don't teach this knowledge. He says, don't teach this one. Yeah. Yeah. Na etad achirna vrato adite. They should not even study this, he says. Exaggeration. Why? We don't have its effect. Mind is not integrated. Mind is split. And mind is split like that, like a frayed toothbrush. The knowledge that the head knows will not sink into the heart. And if you listen long enough, it will leak through the mouth, as Swami Chinmayanji used to say. What has gone in through the ears should sink into the heart. That sinking into the heart will happen only where integrity, etc. is possible. No? Otherwise, how will it sink in? Because every bluff you say, every vow you break, you are doing what's against your knowledge. You're creating a split in yourself. Knower doer split, knower feeler split, feeler doer split. When all these splits come in, you are like a frayed toothbrush. What you know will not sink in. You are Ananda, Brahman, etc. Kidhar class mein. After that, dal roti thinking, meat and potatoes thinking. Sorry, curd rice thinking. Yeah, no problem, Kari. Yeah. Adi, no problem. Go ahead. I'm finishing it off. Yeah. So that is where the whole thing He says, Nama Parama Rishibhyaha, to all the great rishis, Namaskaraha, repeated again to show end of the chapter. Iti Mundaka Upanishad, Tritiya Mundake, Dvitiya Khandaha. With that, Mundaka Upanishad comes to an end. Okay? We're done with the Mundaka Upanishad. Okay? Maybe next time we can start, if there are no questions about this, we'll start with Kata Upanishad. It is all there in your 8 volumes. 8 Upanishads mein sab hai. It's all there. So maybe I can start with Kata, do 2 beginners Upanishad, then maybe go to Kena, then we'll see whether Aitreya Prashna karna hai kya nahi karna hai. Taitreya, Mandukya Karika. Then if all of you survive, I will see whether Brahma Sutras can be done online. Okay. But online is a bit difficult, so we'll have to see. Yeah. Okay. So with that, any questions or fine? Okay. If you are fine, I'll see most of you on Sunday at SIS College in the evening 5 o'clock. Come by 5 so that we can have some snacks and all together.
Swamiji,
Yeah?
Swamiji,
Yes?
the other day I had asked something about courage and bravery and
Courage and fear.
bravery and fearlessness.
Yeah. That's why I said, na, courage is not absence of fear. Courage is doing what has to be done in spite of the fear. Simple. You be afraid and you do what has to be done.
But there's a difference between bravery and fearlessness.
Yeah, some workshop we will do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the camp or something. Do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
It has to elaborate into a practical thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. So great. Take care. Have a nice time. Nice dinner to all of you. Bye. Om Tat Sat. My little one is also there. Yeah. My youngest student attending. Yeah. What is her name? I forget. Shriyankari. Great name. Yeah. Yeah, great name.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you all. Take care. Have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Oh,
Thank you, Swamiji.
take care.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you all.
Swamiji.
Thank you. Take care. See you all on Sunday. Yep. Yeah, Suresh. Bolo.